Good evening. Public speaking sign up is closed at this point. We're going to begin July 28th CB3 meeting. Oh, my name is Arnett Scott. I'm sorry. My name is Scott. Okay. The first person we have up for speaking is Kylie. Kylie. Kaylee. Kylie.
Hi, everybody. I'm a little bit nervous. This is my first time speaking at any sort of community event. I've been attending the meetings. I'm a recent and proud resident of the Lower East Side. I'm also a climate scientist. I'm here today because I am gravely concerned for our vulnerable communities and community members in the face of the extreme inclement weather that we are facing. On top of the food restrictions and disturbances in food supply chains that we will see as a result from our involvement on the war in Iran. For those of you who don't know, we have what's called a super El Nino forming right now. In parts of the ocean, we are seeing warming of up to 6 degrees, higher than historic averages, which is incredibly concerning. Not only does this result in mass die-off of species, but it also intensifies all of the weather events that we already see. I'm sure you've experienced this weather. Not too long ago, we had the extreme heat dome. We also had the wildfires where we had the air quality index breaking the charts across the nation. The people who will be most affected and, to be quite frank, could die in the face of these extreme weather conditions are people who have the least access to resources. This is also cast against the federal backdrop of workforce reduction to important scientific agencies, the deletion of scientific data, and the removal of scientific resources for public community services to adequately prepare. I don't feel like we are prepared for what's to come, and I'm really hoping to find people who would be interested in organizing around this issue, whether that's board members, community members, or chambers. Thank you.
Next we have Miles Smutney. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arnett. And hello, guys. My name is Michelle. My name is. Now you know. My name is Miles Smutney, and some of you know me. I've spent the past 6 years working inside neighborhood institutions to bring about community programming, mutual aid initiatives, and activating public spaces to bring people together. I'm here tonight because I submitted a proposal in response to the Parks RFP in May to restore the public bathrooms at Allen and Delancey. My plan is to operate a cafe and within it, and adaptively reuse the space as a Lower East Side cultural center. I wanted to put this all on my phone so I got it all right. I aim to reserve the building's public purpose by creating affordable space for artists, exhibitions, educational programming, community workshops, and workforce training through this high school and Lazarus to run the cafe. It's important that it addresses two long-standing community needs at once. One is expanded public restroom access, and the other is accessible cultural infrastructure. It's been closed for 70 years, and this RFP presents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to honor those who grew up here, who've shaped this neighborhood, and restore it for them to steward. I'm not here to simply advocate for a building. I'm here to advocate for a vision, a public space that invests in people, creativity, and community. Local businesses, residents, community members, and institutions support this project, including Henry Street, University Settlement, the Lower East Side Girls Club, the Tenement Museum, the Lower East Side Center, LES Ecology, Conbody, and that's just to name a few. As NYC continues to grow and continues to change, I hope this project in the Lower East Side can become a model for what's possible when the community has a voice shaping public space. I strongly believe that public assets should be returned to public use. This building has the potential to become far more than just a concession stand. It can be a lasting investment in the Lower East Side for artists, youth, and community organizations. Thank you so much. This is an opportunity to create permanent community and cultural infrastructure, and commercial interests can go everywhere, but opportunities like this are very rare and far between. If you want information, you can come find me. Thank you so much.
We have next John Swaze, Souza, John Souza.
Hello, greetings everybody. My name is John Souza. I work with an arts organization called Art Bridge that does murals in and around New York City. Most of the murals that we do are murals that are put up on construction fencing. Part of our strategy is to cover some of the otherwise eyesores that cover the city through construction. There is over 300 feet of construction fencing in New York City currently. The way that we do that is go into communities and engage with the communities by offering workshops, asking for feedback, so that the public art does just that, so that it does actually reflect the public and the environment where the art will live. So I'm here because I actually have an announcement, because we are currently working with Con Ed. It's going to be in this neighborhood on their building on Avenue A between 5th and 6th Street. They have a building that is currently covered in graffiti. They approached our organization and they asked if there was a way for us to beautify the neighborhood. They can either buff the wall and paint over it, but they're concerned about it getting covered back again. And sometimes the best way is kind of through by hiring artists, by engaging with the art community, by engaging with the public as well. And so I'm here because we'll be sending out a couple just questions in around public organizations to see what you all would like to see to represent your neighborhood, to make sure that we get that feedback. But at the same time, we are also recruiting some high-end artists. Even on this building, I saw that we have walls by Dragon 76 and by Max Dees. These are artists that get respect in the art community as well. So when we do things like that and use that kind of strategy, not only does it beautify the community, it ups the ante of the art and the quality of the art, but it also gets the respect so that the graffiti artists aren't going to come and just tag over it. So we are just making our announcement to the community board. We will be sending out some emails as well to the local organizations. If you do want any more information, I'll be here. I would love to hear more from the community board about what y'all would like to see on the wall. We're going to hire about 10 artists, so we're in the process of vetting artists that we know have involvement with the community. We are vetting them to make sure that they all do art that does actively reflect what is going on here, that have a strong connection to the Lower East Side and Manhattan in general as well. A lot of the East Village walls are artists that aren't from New York, so I want to make sure that it does represent here, that it represents everyone here as well. That's basically my announcement, all right? So I'll be here if anyone has any questions, and we will be sending out some things between Art Bridge and Con Ed to get some surveys and feedback from the community of what you would like to see. Also in September, last thing is we will plan a paint day. So if there are volunteers and folks that would like to get some experience, we have an opportunity there for you to work with some really great artists. We'll have DJs, we'll have food, celebration, all of that. Thank you. We have time for a question?
Yes, any questions from any? Yes, Trevor. Any other questions?
Online, it's video.
The next speaker is from online, Emilio.
Yeah. Amelia, you're muted. You have to unmute. There you go.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All good? Perfect. Thank you all. Appreciate the flexibility. I would have loved to be there. Would have loved to be there in person with you all this evening, but I had a last minute conflict arise on my schedule, so I had to attend virtually. Thank you, John, for sharing that information. Can you all hear me? Or do we have some technical difficulties there?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Emilio.
Thank you, Susan. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Perfect. I appreciate the flexibility. I would have loved to be there in person with you all, but unfortunately had a conflict jump up on my calendar last minute and had to pivot to virtual. Thank you, John, for leading the charge on our discussion with regards to our mural at the Avenue A substation. As John mentioned, we're very much excited. We're looking forward to this partnership. And part of the reason that initiative arose was from our conversation with Susan, with other members of the community, with regards to how much of an eyesore some of the graffiti and the other environment around the Avenue A substation has been. So it's in direct response and feedback to folks that we have heard a lot of comments from in the past, and we're looking forward to completing this project with a lot of community input and a very diverse set of artists, as John mentioned. Now, pivoting to more traditional Con Edison work, I wanted to share a quick update for you all about a load transfer we are doing from the Cherry Street station to the Avenue A station. Specifically, we are moving capacity from one substation to another substation to build out the reliability and the resiliency of the electric infrastructure in the Lower East Side. I think something that we have discussed with a lot of our elected official stakeholders and a lot of our nonprofit stakeholders throughout the area is the increased demand of New York City summers. I think one of the presenters earlier was talking about extreme heat events and how they become a little bit more, how they've become a bit more consistent. That has been the same with this extreme weather, right? And as we have forecasted the shift in demand of our network throughout the city, throughout the grid, throughout different networks in the city, our energy forecasters predicted specifically that if the rate of development continues throughout the city, specifically in the Lower East Side, if the rate of increased weather events continue to rise, then the capacity concerns in 10, 15 years down the road might be an issue. So to avoid that, the company is being proactive and working with 10 different company forces and stakeholders to move capacity from one substation to another substation. And this is a 3-year project, 3-year phase, where we're doing portions of the work throughout the 3 years because we know this work has the potential to be obstructive and we want to be as proactive as possible without impacting everyday New Yorkers. We know kind of the forces are always out and about in the street. So with our plan for this load transfer, we are separating and phasing out the work into 3 years, this year, 2027, and 2028, where our forces in construction management and electric operations and etc. will be essentially strengthening the feeders, the wires, the cables underground throughout various parts of the Lower East Side, right? And we have been in conversations with Susan and other members of the community to make sure that we are proactive in our communications to not just electeds, but also community stakeholders and other members of the community so that when they see Con Edison forces out in the field, they know that we're not out there just to make a lot of noise or to put more steel plates on the road, but to make the energy infrastructure of the Lower East Side more reliable, more resilient for the next 10 and 20 years. Now, we are in the process of creating a one pager, an FAQ, so to speak, that has all the information available to you all about questions that you might have about our work or the potential benefits of this load transfer. And I can also share my contact information. Susan has it. And if folks have additional questions, you can reach out to me via email. I'm happy to take any questions right now that folks might have, but flagging for you all that I cannot hear the questions that the audience asks. So if you all could either take the mic and ask the questions or have Susan and Co ask the questions via the mic. Happy to answer.
Trevor.
Hi, Emilio. It's Trevor. Nice to see you again. So I have two questions. I didn't hear from what station to what station.
Avenue A to Cherry Street. So the two substations, like the Cherry Street substation right by your building, of course, and then the Avenue A substation, which is farther north.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it. And the second question, because we just heard a presentation from Art Bridge, is what is going on with the mural project at that substation, which has been active for years, but we still haven't heard what the statuses of that project. And it might take a little more importance considering that you're moving your capacity from Avenue A down to this Cherry Street substation.
Yeah, that's a great question, Trevor, and that's something I meant to touch on before diving into specifically the conversation about the load transfer. So we have been in conversations with the muralist, as I told you last. I think we were in conversation. We landed on the muralist for the Cherry Street substations, and then I think we ran into some issues with capacity and availability. So we're going back to the drawing board, and we're reconvening our stakeholders, which you will hear about shortly, to try to schedule a conversation to finalize a new mural list for the Cherry Street substation. We had finalized one during that previous conversation that I think that you or the Two Bridges Neighborhood Council was involved with, and we hit a snafu with that specific mural list. So now we're approaching the conversation again with 3 muralists that were previously vetted by the group, and then we're going to bring the folks together to decide on how we want to proceed with the Cherry Street conversation. But both conversations are happening in tandem. We're not prioritizing one or the other, and it kind of speaks to the whole holistic story of this Lower East Side, Two Bridges resiliency, right? We're looking at the load for the whole network, the whole 2 networks in both neighborhoods, right? But we're also looking at murals in substations at both the networks as well.
Thank you. Is there any other questions from the board members? Thank you, Amelia, for the presentation. Next up, we're promoting Marion. Marion from NYC Commission of Racial Equity.
You have to,
Hi, can you hear me? Great. Okay, hi. Good evening. My name is Marian Aguas. I use he, they pronouns. I work at the Commission on Racial Equity as the Senior Organizing and Engagement Associate. So the Commission on Racial Equity, aka NYC Core. I just wanted to come to the community board to introduce our commission. We are an independent commission. So if you're aware, usually the mayor creates commissions and agencies as related to their platforms, but we were actually created as a voter initiative. So in 2022, New Yorkers voted overwhelmingly in the yes to create a commission that focuses on uplifting community voice and holding government accountable to advancing racial equity in the city. So what that looks like is we are mandated to create community equity priorities alongside community Last year, we heard from over 10,000 New Yorkers during our second community engagement cycle. In our first community engagement cycle, we heard from 4,000 New Yorkers. These community equity priorities are used by all New York City government agencies to inform their 2-year strategies on how they are working to advance racial equity within their work. If you don't know, it was also voted on that New York City agencies are now required to include racial equity in their work. And so this collated report of the agencies from the mayor's plan to implement it is the racial equity plan. So Zoran released his preliminary racial equity plan earlier this year, which you can read on MOERJ's website. And when the racial equity plan is released, CORE reviews the plan to make sure that it adheres to what community is asking for. So really, to summarize, basically, we create community equity priorities alongside community. These get used to create the racial equity plan. And then we also make sure that the plan actually adheres to what community wants. And we try to make sure that the agencies are pushing it even further to really make sure that it is for what community wants. And so Core's power really comes from the people. And so, I'm here to really introduce and make sure that the community boards and the New York community understands and knows about Core. And to let you know that there is a commission in City Hall that works for you. And so we're having an information session next Monday at 6 p.m. via Zoom. I will be sending the invite to the general CB3 email. And we are also starting a third engagement cycle in October of 2026, which I'm sure that I'll be in contact with you all about, so that if you want to participate and be one of the organizations and contacts for you to share and uplift your voice. And I just wanted to share that I can be your contact. So if you have any additional questions, if you want to get involved, you can contact me at M as in Mary, Aguas, AGUAS, like water, at ora.nyc.gov. And if there are any questions, if there are any time for questions, I will take any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from any board members? Any questions?
Hi. Whoops. Go back. So we are in the process, we've commissioned an equity report from CUNY. I don't know how that would connect with this. But I'm wondering if at some point, when we're a little further on in the report, whether you would be able to meet with community board 3, maybe a committee or something, and see how the different reports and priorities align. Community board 3 has the highest income diversity ratio of the 59 boards, so it's really a priority for us.
Absolutely. I would love to. If can I guess I'm not sure how, because I'm virtual, unfortunately, which I wish I could attend too, but I also had a prior thing that I had to be in person for. But if I email Community Board 3, and I ask them about the CUNY report, racial equity report, will I be able to get in contact with you, or what is your name?
Sure. And I have your information from the speaker
Yes.
form. But if you just also, if you email MNO3 at
MNO3.
yeah, at cb.nyc.gov, and I'll answer you. And I'll answer you with my personal email. We can talk about it, and the board members can talk about it maybe at our executive committee when we get an update also on the report.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marion. And next we have elected official reports. Do we have Obi Lattimore?
Obi, you're promoted, so you should be able to do your report.
Can folks hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Again, my apologies as well that I wasn't able to join tonight due to the extreme weather. Just had to make sure that, just have some issues in my backyard. But again, my apologies. I just wanted to give just a quick overview of some of current initiatives from the Mayor's Office of Mass Engagement. For those who are not familiar, The Mayor's Office of Mass Engagement was created in day 2 of the administration via executive order. It is basically taking the Community Affairs Unit along with a couple other different offices to create this new entity. So we're hoping to build off of the work of the Community Affairs Unit. Again, my name is Obi Lattimore. I'm the Manhattan Borough Manager. So as we've started this new office, we've been rapidly trying to build up the structures to be able to continue the work of CAU, continuing to assist with different special cases and task forces. Have had the pleasure of working with Susan around different issues within CB3. But we are also looking to further our direct organizing as well. So right now we are starting our second campaign around talking to tenants, going into different buildings that have a lot of different violations, and door knocking, seeing what the tenants' different needs are and if they're aware of any tenant associations or unions within their building. We're also going to be continuing to do different educational, political education town halls called NYC 101s. And that's going to also be around, again, tenant organizing as well. So that's kind of the new work within OME. But again, we're hoping to continue to support the different needs of community boards. And I'm not going to go into too much of the different accomplishments with the administration or the different ongoing initiatives, but just want to make sure folks had an overview of OME, as well as give folks the time to answer any questions if possible. And again, I look forward to joining in person. The next general board meeting. My apologies.
Thank you. Is there any questions from any board members? Yes, John.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. Just one question, 2 parts. You mentioned that you're going to be working, knocking on doors and addressing tenants' issues. Specifically for our NYCHA residents and families, what specifically do you foresee in the remainder of 26 to care for our NYCHA residents and families? And who is your counterpart at NYCHA with whom you're liaising to make this happen?
Gotcha. So after we did, I guess our kind of general tenant town halls, we did do a specific town halls around NYCHA. So we had a specific, and we've also been partnering with the new or the rebooted Mayor's Office to Protect Tenants. So that is our current partnership around our current campaign. But we are continuing to work with them to assist around the board. When it comes to NYCHA, I guess it depends on whether you're speaking about specific constituent affairs, in which case we have within our office the director of citywide constituent affairs. And then we also will just rely basically on our different interagency director to directly liaise with the NYCHA chief of staff, who I've worked with previously, as well as there's specific, I believe, borough counterparts that we will also be meeting with. But I'm not sure if you're specifically talking about any larger kind of campaign work or initiatives, or if you're just meaning about the different constituent affair needs there.
Appreciate the sort of the general layout of the approach and the engagement. Looking forward to hearing more, just on more specificity, because we do have such a high density of NYCHA households here in our community board district. So looking forward in the future to just hearing more with a bit more specifics what will be rolling out from your office, so that way we can help amplify and we can also meet the increasing need that our buildings and our families are having. So thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Sean. Any other community board members? Okay, thank you, Obi.
Thank you.
Next, we have Curtis Young from the Public Advocate Jamani Williams office. Controller Mark Levine, anyone here for him? Okay. Borough Manhattan, President's Office, Brad Holloman Sinwell. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miles Robinson. I'm filling in for Miss E.E. Wang. If you are familiar with her, she is out sick today, so I'll be taking her place instead. Just a few updates from our office. We are deeply saddened to learn that 5 New Yorkers have died from the ongoing Legionnaires' outbreak on the Upper East Side. Thoughts are with the families and friends at this difficult time as they mourn the loss of a loved one. I urge New Yorkers to follow the health advice of the health department and seek immediate medical attention if you present symptoms consistent with Legionnaires, which include cough, fever, or difficulty breathing. For help finding a provider, regardless of immigration or insurance status, visit NYC Health and Hospitals or call 311 or 844-NYC-4NYC, which is 844-692-4692. 3 weeks ago, we avoided a serious construction mishap that could have devastated parts of Midtown. I'm grateful that 235th East 42nd Street, the old Pfizer building, has been stabilized. A travel advisory is in effect through 8 a.m. Wednesday, July 29th, due to heavy rain. So thank you all once again for coming out. Definitely deeply appreciated. Please plan extra time into your commute and be cautious. Please prepare. There's supposed to be heavy rain and thunderstorms, so please, after this meeting is over, make your way to your abodes. Brad met with DSS Commissioner last week regarding 3rd Street Intake Center. It is set to open on August 1st, which is this Saturday. The Manhattan Borough President's Office also met with the New York City Department of Transportation earlier this month regarding their updated plans for the design of Canal Street. So there should be some news coming back from that soon. And that is it for the Manhattan Borough President's report. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you, everyone, once again.
Thank you. We have next District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office, Sherman.
Hello, everyone. This is Sherman Goldblum from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. I don't have too many announcements, but I'll just let you know what our office has been up to. Again, like those of us who are online have said, thank you for allowing us to join virtually, and sorry we couldn't be there in person. Our high school summer internship program, we have 33 interns, and they're finishing up this week. They have their mock trial Thursday, which is really exciting. Last week, we put on the first Lower East Side Opportunity Fair with partners like Henry Street, Grand Street University Settlement. It was really exciting. We had 4 on-site trainings, including Narcan training and a CPR training and a Stop the Bleed training that Bellevue put on. So that was really exciting. It's been good to see people out in the community, and that is really all for my announcements today. If anyone has any questions, and I'm excited to see you all out in the community, and definitely in September at the next full board meeting.
Thank you. Is there any questions from any board members? Thank you, Shannon. Next, we have Congressman Dan Goldman's office. We have Wesley Yu. Assembly Member Grace Lee's office. Sandy.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Kimberly from the Office of Assembly Member Grace Lee. And he's unfortunately unable to make it today. I just have 2 quick things for you all today. So first, our office is hosting mobile office hours across Lower Manhattan. And we've already been doing this for the month of July, and we're going to continue doing them into the month of August. So stay tuned for more exact details in our newsletter as well as in our social media posts. These are times where we are hoping to interact with the community. So if you have any questions, please do come by, raise any issues you have within the community, and we're looking forward to hearing from you all. And lastly, our office is partnering with Grand Street Settlement for a back-to-school event, including free backpacks. There's going to be music, live music, a resource fair, and much more. The event is going to be on August 21st, so again, stay tuned for details, and we have a flyer that's going to be going out super soon. Are there any questions I can help answer right now? Thank you.
Thank you. Assembly member Deborah Glick.
Hi, this is Tracy from the Assemblymember Glick's office. And I echo the apologies that I can't be there in person, but thank you for allowing for Zoom. I just have two quick local resources that I want to remind people of. One is just a reminder that the city is offering free summer meals for New York City children ages 18 and younger, breakfast and lunch. You can go to the school's, the official school's website. It's schools.nyc.gov. And there will be a link through there for a schedule of where and when one could pick up a free meal. And then the other thing is just to highlight for people an organization called Community Health Advocates. I hope you already know them, but we know a lot of people have experienced changes to their health insurance and some loss of coverage of the essential plan that ended in early July. So Community Health Advocates is totally free and helps people find new health coverage, helps resolve billing, medical debt, and is a really good advocate on any health related matters and dealing with health insurance companies. So we always encourage people to reach out to them. They're communityhealthadvocates.org, and they have a free helpline, which is 888-614-5400. And you can also reach out to our office anytime to be connected to them. We refer people to them all the time and find them to be pretty responsive. So our office number is 212-674-5153. And with that, everybody stay dry and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Any questions from the community members? Thank you. Next up, we have Assembly Member Keith Powell's office. Joanna Sanchez.
Yes. Hello, hello everyone. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it in person today. I am under the weather. But thank you for having me via Zoom. Our upcoming events are we have the Queen Street Day of Action, and that will be on July 31st. Then we have our upcoming August 2nd e-waste recycling event. And August 4th, we have our mobile office hours for LES 2, 3, and 4. And for our recent one, we have our first coffee with Keith on August 28th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in our local district office. And we have the September 2nd back to school movie night in Bellevue South Park from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to contact our office. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
State Senator Brian Kavanaugh.
Hi everyone, my name is Sharif Kratzi. I'm a legislative aide and community affairs liaison with Senator Brian Kavanaugh's office. Don't have a ton of updates, as some of you already know. Senator Kavanaugh's retiring here at the end of this year, but did want to cover some updates on the city council side. So some of you may know that we did a big legislative push this year in the state budget process to increase the income threshold for the SCREE and DREE rent freeze programs for seniors and disabled workers. And so we increased it to $75,000 in the state budget, but it needs to be approved by the city council in order to take effect here in New York. And so I'm pleased to announce that Councilmember Farrah Lewis introduced Intro 978 to introduce this. It's also retroactive to July 1st, so when it eventually does pass city council and gets signed into law, it goes back to July 1st for those folks who applied in the between. So keep your eyes tuned to that, and we'll continue to hearing on that soon. I also want to shout out Councilmembers Chris Marte seen so we appreciate all our partners in the city council for advocating that and pushing it forward. And on the community side, we did through office hours last month, with office hours. Stay tuned for more events that we'll get planned. And just generally, even though we are wrapping up our operations at the end of this year, our office remains open through December 31st. If you have any issues, please reach out to us, contact us directly in the office, and feel free to take a card from me if you have any questions. Take questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Councilmember Christopher Marte's office. Sign in.
Hello everyone, my name is Louis, community liaison for Councilmember Marte. Excited regarding updates on how to vote for legislation. 2 weeks ago, the City Council had a 10-hour hearing on City Councilmember Marte's bill for Manchester to ban horse carriages in New York City. At the hearing, we heard from the Manchester family who urged us to pass these bills so others don't face similar losses. We also heard from hundreds of advocates, horse sanctuaries, and regular workers who overwhelmingly support this bill. There are also conversations with a coalition of numerous horse sanctuaries across the country that are willing and able to take it into consideration. And as of today, the bill has 28 co-sponsors, plus the support of Speaker Benny. So we are confident this bill will pass and finally end the horse carriage industry in New York City. So for capital wins, we have allocated $5 million for the state houses, specifically for road replacements. We've allocated $1.3 million for PS140 on its renovations. Allocated $2.2 million for Henry Street Settlement Early Childhood Education Center. And allocated $1.8 million for daycare renovations at 10 campuses. Furthermore, we have 4 more funding categories. So for parks and green spaces, we allocated $300,000 in capital investments for parks, along with $475,000 in discretionary funding for activities and green spaces and will support cleanup efforts at parks in the district. For social services, $660,000 in discretionary funding for social services aimed at workforce development, case management, public benefits assistance, assistance for the disabled, citizenship classes, and more. For legal services, $117,000 in discretionary funding for legal services for victims of gender-based violence, low-wage worker support, housing assistance, and general legal advocacy. And lastly, youth programming. So this is $664,000 in youth programming, both in school and out of school / after school. Thanks. If you have any questions. Yes.
So you won't know this off the top of your head. We found out today there was DOT had a training on new open streets, no, the outdoor dining court, and different issues came up. And we were informed that the city council will be voting on amended legislation in August. And I know Chris and Harvey have been working on this for ages. We don't know what the status is. So CB1, 2, and 3, we emailed both Chris and Harvey today asking if they would meet with their boards and let us know what's going on. So I suspect you don't have the status of the legislation, but maybe if you could carry that message back.
Yeah, definitely. Any other questions?
Thank you, Louis. Next up, we have Councilmember Harvey Epstein's office. Chanel.
Good evening. I'm covering tonight for my colleague, Jimmy Chow, so if any of you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to the office and follow up with me. So firstly, there's a list of bills that Harvey has in the council that we don't speak about a lot because we're finding that, well, I'm finding, I don't know how Harvey feels, that it's much harder to move bills in the council. So we printed out a list of Harvey's like priority bills so that people can know like just what we're working on. I left that in the back on the table. Our office number also located on the top of the form, if you have any questions about any of the bills on this form, and you want to share your thoughts about them with the council member. Chris Marte's team spoke about romance law. I'm just going to highlight that Harvey co-sponsored an op-ed about it, so if any of you guys are interested in reading that op-ed, it'll be part of the CB3 report in the back. Like Chris Marte's team said, there's already like 26 co-sponsors, so we're pretty confident that that bill is going to pass this year. There was also the Legionnaires press conference that Harvey had with the speaker. We're also planning another press conference at Haven Plaza later this week. If anyone's interested in attending that or being a speaker, you can call the office and we'll be happy to give you the information or add you to the program. And also Harvey's the chair of the DCW committee. So he's been having these outreach events on student loans. I actually did the counseling. It's very useful because the student loan laws just changed recently. Like my payment was $0 for some time and now it's like over $200. So if you want to find out what's going on, maybe you need to like put your information in again. Maybe you have questions. I would implore you guys to come to one of these events or call the office and we'll connect you with a counselor from NICLAS. We're having a hang with Harvey tomorrow, so if anyone's interested in coming to chat with Harvey, we'll be at Washington Square Park from 4 to 6 p.m. We are also hosting a bunch of movies in the park this summer. We did one last week, Living the Sunshine at Tompkins Park, and then we did one at Square Park. We have a few more coming up. We have Tompkins Square Park on August 5th. We're showing Super Troopers, and on August 19th, we're showing Beasts of the Southern Wild. These events are totally free. I would just say come early if you want to get a good seat and bring a chair if you have one available. There's free pizza and popcorn and ices. It's a great event. So if any of you guys are free for these, you should come out. We're also doing a big back to school event at Bellevue South Park on September 2nd. It's a back to school movie night. So we're doing something fun this year where people can actually vote on the movie that we're going to show. And we're going to be giving out book bags. There'll be fun food there for children. There'll be games. There'll be toys. We're hoping to make this event really big, and we're hoping that all of our students come out so we can send them back to school with enthusiasm. We also have a recycling event on August 2nd. So if you need to recycle your e-waste, if you need a safe way to throw out your laptop, your cell phone, old printers, those type of items, you want to bring them to the e-waste event on August 2nd. It's a good time to do your cleaning as you begin to take in new devices for the upcoming school year. And then I'll leave you guys with, we're having a meeting around the Union Square bid expansion. If any of you guys have any thoughts, you want to be heard on that issue, this meeting information will be in the packet as well. I have a whole bunch of other things here, but I think I've said enough. If any of you guys have any questions about anything I just spoke about, feel free to call the office, and if any of the board members have a question, I'm happy to take that now. Stacey.
Same message I gave, yes, Harvey, the boards would love to meet about the legislation since next month vote this year.
Sorry for being long-winded, guys. It's been a while.
Thank you, Shannon. And next up, we have roll call and approval of minutes.
Hello? Yes. I'll begin roll call. Welcome new members. If I mispronounce your name, please let me know. Adam Al-Ghalib, Stephen Ballinger, Tanya Bates, Lee Berman, Carlin Chan, Ariadna Chua, Vincent Cerrito, Claudia De La Cruz, Eric Diaz, Alistair Economakis, Tahisha Fields, Naima Fofana, John Fout, Catherine Freed, Sean Garcia, Ryan Gillum, Charlie Goldenson, Andrea Gordillo, Herman Hewitt, President Trevor Holland, Mary Jane, Nancy Kong, Michelle Coopersmith, Diane Lake, Francisco LeBron, Mei Lee, Michael Lavario, Molly Liu, Troy Mack, Campbell Munn, John Neidick, Indrani Nicomedes Rivera, Robin Olivares, Daisy Paez, Elena Perez, Rod Romani, President, Ramya Rao, Damaris Reyes, Tal Roded, Jaylene Rodriguez, Arnett Scott, Clint Smeltzer, Sandra Struther, Daniel Tanow, Zachary Thomas, Serengeti Tumungwa, Serengeti, Alejandro Torres, Zuli Velasquez, Josephine Velez, Kathleen Webster.
Thank you. Okay. We're moving now to the board chair's report. And this is going to be kind of bittersweet and also short. Okay. I'm going to start with, it was brought to our attention during exec that there was some confusion around the state open laws and what circumstances allow persons on the community board to be hybrid. I would like to point out that there is a resolution that was passed 2022. It is located on the community board's website. If you go to About Us and then go down to Policies, under that link there is the resolution. In that resolution, under the whereas, the third clause in there, it states what special circumstances allow persons to call and request being able to be hybrid. I would like to preface that the caveat to all of that is that in order for a meeting to have quorum, there has to be persons present. We do not count those that are remote. If there's an extenuating circumstance, that is different. We will then look to have more clarity on this at our next meeting in September. So for right now, I just ask that community members refer to the actual resolution where there's the outlining of what's considered an extenuating circumstance. And in September, we will come back with a bit more clarity. As it is now, if you have any further questions, you can call the district office and or the board chair. Okay, secondly, we have right, no, I'll come back to that. I'll go through it there and I'll come back to you. Thank you. I'm sorry, extraordinary circumstances, not extenuating. Extraordinary circumstances. Okay. Okay, and now for the bittersweet portion. Unfortunately, Andrea is unable to make it in today due to the weather, and she was scheduled to be here to announce that she is stepping down. So today would have been her last day as board chair. In as much, therefore, myself, the first chair, will step up to be board chair, and Diane Lake, who is second vice, will step up to be first vice. We will then now have a special election to replace the vacant second vice chair. And so what will happen is Raul will send out notification email to all board members for the nominating process. And in that email will have instructions on how to nominate and how would that look. In September, we would commence on the voting during full board. And that will be September 29th. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to questions. Yes, Michelle.
Thanks for talking about the resolution because I realized there's a lot of people that weren't here in 2022. I was unfortunate. I have two questions, which is one, how can board members request to be remote? Because I don't think the resolution actually enumerates that.
Currently, as for right now, we're just referring to the actual resolution. September, we will have more clarity and we'll be more more explicit on how that process works out.
Okay, but just like hypothetically, if they need to be remote for September, would they email you and Susan, or what would the process be?
Currently, right now, yes, just reach out to the district office and go to the board chair.
Okay, and does it count for your personal attendance if you are approved to be remote in that circumstance?
Yes.
Okay, great. So just not for you. All right. Thank you so much.
That is it for the board chair's report. Next up, we have district managers.
Thank you. So I also, not on the extraordinary circumstance which Arnett was talking about, but I do get questions all the time, continually, about the hybrid meeting on an ordinary circumstance. And under ordinary circumstances, that means if there's not a state of emergency, if there's not an extraordinary circumstance that has been approved, members must be present to be counted as, they must be in person to be present and to be counted. The reason, I want to let everyone know, the reason we're meeting here today is because PS20 doesn't have air conditioning, so every July we find an air-conditioned school to meet in. We will be back at PS20 in September, and we will be sending out the calendar before the end of this week. But I want to let everyone know the September calendar, because of holidays, will be a little unusual. We usually meet, the full board is the fourth Tuesday of the month, and then the committees work backward from that. But because of Labor Day in September, the full board will be meeting the last Tuesday, which is the fifth Tuesday. So all the committees will be like pushed back 1 week. We don't have committee meetings in August, especially for the new members, except for cannabis and SLA, because they have time restrictions that they have to be heard. But their votes will be, the full board will vote on the August votes in September. I'm still hearing from a few residents about the intake center that, as earlier was announced, it's opening August 1st, which is this Saturday. I've been checking the block. It's just 1 block over from 4th Street. There has not been anyone hanging out there. There is DHS police. There are people, particularly on 4th Street, particularly on under the scaffolding, that when the shelter was open, we thought that they were associated with the shelter, but they're not. They're not associated with either the intake center or any shelter. They are people that are not accepting services from homeless outreach. And I will be continuing to check the block. The next CAB meeting for the intake center will be August 17th, and it will be virtual. We're having a closing of the Opioid Treatment Center, which is run by Mount Sinai. Um, they're closing because the building has been sold. I don't know yet at all where services are going to be relocated, but on Tuesday, August 11th, there is going to be both a virtual and in-person meeting at 45 Rivington, and I have flyers about it on the outside table, or people can contact me if they need that. The CB Community Board offices, as I mentioned again earlier, had a training on the new portal for outdoor dining. It appears to be very restrictive and opaque as possible, even compared to other city portals. And you heard the legislation is being amended. We have, at this point, we have no idea how, what that's going to look like. September 21st, the Community Board 3 will have a charter mandated public hearing to hear from all in the district as to budget priorities, how money, agency money should be allocated in Community Board 3. Generally, we hear about, mostly from parks groups. We will have this on our homepage of our website. We'll have it advertised, and we encourage anyone to come, talk about how they think the priorities should be in Community Board 3, and we also encourage nonprofits to come and speak about that. Just wanted to note here, I have a green sheet from Conflict of Interest Board, the top 9 things Community Board members need to know. I think it's pretty useful. I thought I had one more flyer, but maybe that's it. So that's it, unless there's any questions.
Have they come up here for the microphone?
Please repeat the date of the committee nonprofit meeting or presentation.
The priority. Talk about the budget priority.
Yeah, so you said the nonprofits.
September 21st.
Thank you.
And it'll be at 6:30, and it'll be both virtual and in person.
And location.
The Community Board office, 59 Eastwood.
Is there any other questions from the community members? Any board members, any questions? Okay. Moving on to committee reports. First, we have exec. There was no resolutions that were passed. Discussion mainly about the special election as well as Andrea stepping down. So there's really nothing to report. So we have next land use, zoning, public land use. John?
Good evening. At Land Use this month, we just had 2 presentations, and those required votes. One of them we've heard before, COPA, and look forward to moving more about that in the future. Anything controversial, no votes required. Questions?
Thank you, John. Next up, we have transportation. Vincent?
Hey, everybody. So on transportation, we had a few items. They were for all discussions and resolutions for tonight. One was Chinatown Connections, where EDC and DOT gave a really good update on the project overall from inception from 2022, when the DREI funding came in from the state, started the project, as well as the engagement summary, and where we are right now. We expect to probably be voting on that project sometime in the fall. But if you are interested in that project, it was a hybrid meeting, taped, so you should go watch it. Really good information on that. We also had a presentation from the Clinton Street neighbors on safety concerns for Clinton Street. So again, that's a good one to take a look at. And then just overall kind of update on just some things transportation related in the district. Me and Susan, we walked with DOT and DDC last week to kind of go over the Delancey Street construction project. That will start construction next spring. The bill stays on track. It's been quite delayed for a long time. But we wanted to talk to them because the design is quite old. A lot of the street has changed, uses around it, and also the bike lane connections to Williamsburg Bridge at Clinton Street have been a concern for a while, so we wanted to talk to them about how they're addressing those. Also, just want to let you all know too, for the Canal Street redesign project, that project has now been broken into 2 phases. Phase 1 is what they're hoping, DOT is hoping to implement this summer fall. It is from Broadway to West Street. It is outside of our community district. We are in phase 2, which would be implemented next summer, fall, and that's because they wanted to hear more from the community on that phase. As part of phase 1, though, it is a 2-way bike lane that they're looking to get from Forsyth Street along Grand Street to West Street. So that is part of the phase 1 project. But again, you'll hear more about that in the fall. That's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Vincent. Next up, we have Parks. Trevor?
Thanks. Just one resolution on the renaming or the naming of the multi-purpose field at northwest corner of Conference Square Park to Howard Court. It is on your sheet. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. Next up, we have Health and Human Services. May.
Hi, good evening, everyone. At our meeting, we had 2 informational presentations. One was from the Presbyterian Downtown Hospital. They reported on the findings of their community health needs assessment. This is an assessment that hospitals are required to do. I think it's every 3 years. The presentation was recorded, so you can, go to our website to view it and hear it. The other presentation we had was from the 14th Street Y. They had never been to our committee before. They do partner with Educational Alliance on some of their programs, and then they have their own programs separate from that. So you can go also hear about that and see it on the website under the meeting videos. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, May. Next up, we have SLA. Clint?
Okay, we did receive all of the signed stipulations back from the applicants. There is one thing I want to note under item number 7. We had an addition, something that kind of occurred after the committee meeting. Basically, that item was a denial. It was the former location was a beer and wine. They were coming in, they wanted full liquor, they wanted DJs, live music at entertainment level, unlimited drink specials including boozy brunches. They basically wanted everything possible they could ask for, and they need that for their business model. They are not familiar with the area under their own admission at the meeting. They are from Long Island. They've never had a business in the city. So we denied it because, for various reasons, it was adding to some of the many problems that they're having on Ludlow Street on Stanton Street between Ludlow and Orchard. After the meeting, we received an email with, I included a small excerpt in the whereas clause, I think it's the 3rd from the end, where basically they said that, in a sense, they threatened to sue us because their lease requires them to have full liquor, and if they don't have full liquor, they can't pay their $35,000 a month rent, and if they can't and their landlord sues them, they will sue us. So and yes, I don't, maybe I didn't put that in there, but then they did say that we're discriminating them because they want to have a Mexican restaurant. So, That was the only change. That was kind of something we added because it was something that happened and we just wanted that documented for the SLA so that they realize that's how they're behaving. So yes, that whereas clause is kind of an amendment to what was the original resolution, which was what happened at the meeting. This happened after the meeting. I think I saw Ann Pedrani. So the resolution from the committee was to deny. So if you are voting, if you're agreeing voting yes, the application is denied. If you vote no, that means you think it should be approved. Any other questions on that or any other items? Oh, yes. Oh, they understood. We were very clear. We explained to them that what was in the location before, the problems that are currently there, and if they were willing to consider a beer and wine and get rid of the DJs and the live music and everything else, we would possibly consider it, and they said no. So I think they understood. I think they were clear. And the resolution and the stipulations we went over were clear to them. Yes, Stephen? Yeah. If it's something more, yes.
The question, has there been any historical case law where a community board has been sued or an individual acting upon the community board, like a member like me, has been sued?
Yes, I've been sued. So, first of all, we're advisory.
Yes.
And our lawyer is the city law. Everything we hand everything over to the law department and they have it dismissed.
Got it. And that law department will, indemnify us individually?
I don't know. I can't give you the details.
I'm just
but
curious.
The fact that we're advisory, there's nothing to sue.
They could go to the state and do whatever they want at the state.
Well, the SLA gets sued all the time.
Yes.
And that has nothing to do with us. And yes, they do get sued. But actually, like in this case, I wrote a very detailed letter to the expediter that threatened us, but I also copied the SLA council on the
That was just my question.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else SLA committee related? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Brian. Landmarks?
Okay, Landmarks had one resolution that's in your packet. Essentially, it's from the Middle Collegiate Church. The church was actually destroyed in 2020, but it's in the historic district, Lower East Side Historic District, and East Village Historic District. So, and they plan to replace the church, but until they replace the church, what they're doing is they're using the site behind 112 2nd Avenue. It's vacant. They have salvaged stuff that was salvaged from the church, and what they're doing is they're erecting a cast iron fence around it that looks like the original cast iron fence, and they're going to be using it for the parishioners and let the community use it. They will be storing some of the salvaged stones there, and it's temporary. So that's it.
Bylaws task force. We had a meeting with our bylaws. The bylaws meeting is centered around mainly attendance. There is a great emphasis from the borough president's office for us to have some standardized standardized language around attendance. I understand attendance has been a bit, let's see, what's the word? Touchy, and as such, we've made different iterations of how we handle the attendance. So for right now, the bylaws committee is seriously considering what changes needs to be made, and as well as the borough president's office has meetings around this with all the borough presidents, I mean, all the board chairs. We look to have more of a standardized measure on how we view attendance. So we're looking forward to have those changes and have them to you for a vote, but we have not made any changes as of yet. But for right now, our conversations are around, is centered around attendance. So next up we have, oh, any questions? So sorry. Okay, great. Next we have Outreach Task Force, Daisy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Daisy Myers from the Outreach Committee. So I really want to emphasize to you the need of why I'm here. I'm here because I really, really need your help. Your help in volunteering to table at some events. I tabled at an event a few weeks ago on Avenue B. And I was really surprised how many people really were asking questions about what's the community, what does it do? And I was really taken back by the fact that people really don't know what we do and the importance of being a part of a community. So there are 4 events coming up in August, and these 4 events generate a lot of traffic, body traffic, families, community people. And these events, I'm asking an hour and a half. You don't have to stay the whole event. But just so that you can help get the word out. So we can let the community know what we do, the significance of us being together as a collective board. So the first event that is really nice is National Night Out, August 4th, Tuesday, 4 to 8. That's an event that the community comes together for peace and crime prevention. It generates a lot of traffic, and it's really nice. Then we have Why Not Cares, August 30th, which is on a Sunday. It's from 12 to 6 p.m. This event, I've been part of it for 10 years. This event generates over hundreds of families, and they give out school supplies, resources for the community, and it's a wonderful event. Guaranteed you will not be bored. Avenue for Justice, they're having an event on Avenue B, August 20th, and I'm trying to really get the specific time. She'll give it to me. Okay, 1 to 4. And then we have Dominican Heritage, August 22nd from 3 to 5, and it's being hosted by and Council Member Christopher Martin. These events, you won't be bored. There's so many people coming and going. It's going to be nice to talk to these people. Let them know what we do. Let them know what we represent. So if you're interested, like I said, it's not, you don't have to stay all the time. An hour, a half an hour, I don't care. I'll take it. So if you're interested in any of those events, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Daisy. Any questions? Any questions?
Oh, no, so I was wondering, are you going to send an email with the dates, places, and times?
Yes, I'm going to do that, but I kind of figured I wanted to see all of y'all, and I wanted to be personal and invite you personally. That's why I asked permission to do this.
No, that's good. I just,
yes.
I wrote it down, but I'm waiting
But if
for
I
your
send an
email.
email, please respond. Thank you. Oh, another question.
Daisy, I just want to keep you up there, so we're gonna
Okay,
keep asking questions now. So if someone wants to volunteer for outreach, are you gonna be at all these events? Do we have to go to the office to pick up material?
so
Like, what's the
I'm
logistics?
going to be here at all of them. Yeah.
So you'll
I
be
love
there, and we're just
National
going there
Night
to
Out.
support you. But hopefully, eventually, you're not at all of them, and some other people step up.
I'm gonna be a National Night Out,
Okay.
definitely. Why Not Cares, I've been a part of that team for 10 years. Avenue for Justice, that's a new one, but I wanna be there because I wanna, be invested on the other side too. And the Dominican Heritage, of course, I'm gonna be there to support. So yes, I will be at all of them. So if you wanna hang out with
Okay.
me, that'll be fine.
And then
I would love that.
if community board members know about any other events, we should alert you so you can put it on a
Yes.
list.
Yes, if they want to volunteer there, yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Daisy. Okay, next up on the agenda, we have the Roots Bathhouse Task Force, which is typically Eric Diaz's report. He is not here today. So is anyone in here that has any information about the bathhouse? Okie dokie. This is amazing. This is horrible weather. This is a good time to get us out. Okay, so I'm moving to final roll call. And final roll call and vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, roll call and vote. Adam Alvale? Yes, all agree. Stephen Ballinger? Tanya Bates? Lee Berman is absent. Carlin Chan? Ariadna Chua, absent. Vincent Cerrito? Claudia De La Cruz? Eric Diaz? Absent. Alistair? Absent. Tahisha Fields? Naima Fofana? John Fout? Catherine Freed? Sean Garcia? Yes to all? Ryan Gillum, absent. Charlie Goldenson? Andrea Gordillo, absent. Herman Hewitt? Trevor Holland? Mary Jang? Absent. Nancy Kong? Michelle Coopersmith? Diane Rick, absent. Francisco Lebron? May Lee? Michael Lavario? Molly Liu? Troy Mack? Campbell Munn, absent. John Neidick? Present not voting, SLA 9. Indrani Nicomedes Rivera? Robin Oliveras? Daisy Paez? Elena Perez? Rod Romani, yes. Rami Rao, absent. Damaris Reyes, absent. Tal Roded? Jaylene Rodriguez? Arnett Scott? Vince Meltzer? Sandra Struther, absent. Daniel Tano? Zachary Thomas? Serengeti Tumunwa is absent. Alejandro Torres? Zuli Velasquez? Or yes? Josephine Velez? And then Kathleen Webster absent. Thank you all.
Or on it,
Thank you.
just
Good night.
one thing, I was a little nervous. I want to say also thank you to Andrea for her work that she's done as board chair. I wish she was here so we can thank her personally. She is an amazing person, and I wish her all the best in all her new endeavors. I just wanted to say that before we left. Thank you, guys.